Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're tackling a big one, a term that's pretty much the front door for millions of people getting into crypto. Centralized finance, or as you'll always hear it, CeFi. So let's break down what it is and why it matters.
So have you ever thought about getting into crypto, but the whole thing just seems way too complicated? If you've been searching for a simple, straightforward way to start, without needing a PhD in cryptography, then you're in the right place.
And look, let's be real, that feeling is completely understandable. The crypto space has a reputation for being a bit of a wild west, right? It's full of confusing jargon, you hear about scams like rug pulls, and there's always the fear of getting hacked. It can seriously feel like you have to be a security expert just to keep your money safe.
And this is exactly where CeFi comes into the picture. The best way to think about it is as a bridge. It's a bridge connecting the financial world we all know, our banks, our brokerage accounts, to this brand new, exciting world of digital assets.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of what that means. At its heart, CeFi means you're trusting a company, a central organization, to handle all your crypto stuff for you. They're like a helpful middleman, taking care of all the complicated back-end things so you don't have to. Honestly, the easiest analogy is this. It's basically a bank, but for your crypto.
Now this is where that bank for crypto analogy really comes to life. Just look at the parallels here. With a bank, you trust them with your dollars. With a CeFi platform, you trust them with your Bitcoin. In both scenarios, some central company is the custodian, the one holding and protecting your assets. The really big differences, though, are in the technology running it all and the regulations, which are way more settled and standardized for old-school banks.
So, how does this all work in the real world? Let's walk through what it actually looks like to get started.
If you've ever signed up for an online brokerage account or even a modern digital bank, this is going to feel super familiar. You create an account, you verify who you are, you'll link up your bank account to deposit some cash, and boom, you're ready to start trading. It's all designed to be as simple and painless as possible.
And that verification step, it's actually a huge deal. It's called KYC, which stands for Know Your Customer, and AML for Anti-Money Laundering. These aren't just annoying hoops to jump through. They're what allow these platforms to follow global financial rules, which helps prevent fraud and adds a really important layer of security and legitimacy to the whole operation.
And to give you an idea of just how dominant this model is, check out this number. Back in 2020, a whopping 95% of all crypto trading happened on centralized exchanges. It is, by a huge margin, the most common way that people interact with crypto.
Okay, so you're in. You've got an account, you've put some money in it. What can you actually do? Let's open up the CeFi toolbox.
Well, the number one thing, of course, is trading. CeFi platforms make it incredibly easy to swap your US dollars for Bitcoin, or maybe trade some of your Ethereum for another cool digital asset you've been looking at. They handle all the complicated stuff in the background to make those trades happen smoothly.
But it's not just about buying and selling. You can also put your crypto to work for you. A lot of these platforms let you do things like staking or lending, where you can basically lock up your crypto to help run the network. And in return for doing that, you earn rewards. Think of it like a high-yield savings account, but for your crypto.
And yeah, that lending part is a pretty big piece of the puzzle. When you deposit your crypto, the platform can then lend it out to other people or institutions. You provide the assets, and for that, you earn interest. It's a whole financial ecosystem.
But, and this is a really big but, all of this simplicity, all this power and convenience, it comes with a trade-off. And it's absolutely crucial to understand both sides of the deal you're making when you jump into CeFi.
Okay, first, the pros. The appeal is obvious, right? It's easy to use. If you run into a problem, there's actually a customer support team you can talk to. They operate under regulations, they make it super easy to get your dollars in and out, and they offer a massive menu of different coins to choose from. Now for the other side of that coin, the cons. The biggest one is captured in that classic crypto saying, not your keys, not your crypto. When you use a CeFi platform, they hold the keys to your assets, not you. You're trusting them. That means you're taking on counterparty risk, the risk that the company could go bankrupt or get hacked. You're also giving up your privacy, and these huge centralized platforms become giant targets for hackers.
And this quote from the US Treasury really hits the nail on the head. Even though it's talking about smart contracts, the principle is exactly the same for CeFi. The moment you deposit your funds, you hand over direct control. You are putting your trust in that company's systems to keep your money safe. That's the fundamental trade-off right there.
So with all that on the table, how do you decide?
Is CeFi the right first step for your crypto journey?
At the end of the day, this quote from Gemini Cryptopedia just says it all. For a long time to come, these centralized platforms are going to be the main on-ramp, the main way that new people find their way into crypto. They are an absolutely essential part of the industry's growth.
So really, it all comes down to this. CeFi gives you a guided, familiar, user-friendly path into a very complex new world. It makes crypto accessible, but in return, you're trading away that core crypto ideal of total self-control and decentralization. So the question you have to ask yourself is that trade-off worth it for you?
We would love to hear what you think. Are you using a CeFi platform? What's your experience been like? Drop a comment below and let us know. And hey, if this was helpful, do us a favor and subscribe for more crypto explainers just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.